Now I want to move over to the extended design. So typically we'll leave this blank, where we'll be doing 100% full, and then per project the designer can come in and choose if they want to do a part full design, in which case they can use a table or they can do simple. So I'll leave that toggled off as the default. And then also if you want to allow multiple barrels, and then you could put in your maximum number of barrels. So I'll leave that turned off by default as well. And then also we can limit the section size here, so you can put a maximum rise in, which typically is just used per project, so I'll leave that toggled off. Now moving into the node section. Here's where you're going to specify the design constraints to be used by default for all gravity structures when performing calculations inside of a design mode. So when you're doing an automatic design, the program will adjust elevations of the pipes adjacent to structure according to the structure's matching constraints that we set here. We have two options for pipe matching. We can do match at crowns, which is the very top of the pipe, or match at inverts, which is going to be the inside bottom of the pipe. And then we can also set what that offset between the upstream and downstream pipes are going to be at the inverts by setting the match line offset. Over here we can also toggle on if you want to design drop structures. In some situations, drop structures can minimize pipe cover depths while maintaining adequate hydraulic performance. So you'll either choose to turn that on or not. And then if you do want to use drop structures to minimize cover, you can additionally specify what that minimum drop depth should be. Later, when we start looking at prototypes, we'll see where we can set a node cover constraint, which is going to be a minimum and maximum cover at the nodes. So if you want to use that, you'll toggle that on. If you don't, then you can toggle that off. And then instead, it's just going to use the cover constraints that we specified for the pipes instead. And lastly, we'll go to the Inlet tab. So this is where we'll define the maximum spread and gutter depth. Go ahead and type those values in. We'll go with 8 feet and 0.5. Again, this is going to change per project, but you want to set the most commonly used values here. And then we'll also set the minimum efficiency on grade. And I'll set that to 60. And so now when we are running a design for an inlet on grade, it's going to ensure that we are at least taking in 60% of the gutter flow at that inlet. And in order to do so, it will increase the inlet opening. Now this only happens if you're using an inlet catalog. And within your inlet catalog, you've opted to include a design length available. So what we could do for a particular inlet is give what those standard lengths should be. And when it's running a design, it will start at the smallest, and then it will increase the design length as needed to intercept that given percentage that you've specified in your default design constraints. If you're running an analysis mode, then these values are going to be used for notification purposes to let you know when you've exceeded your maximum spread or gutter depth or your minimum efficiency. And as with any of these dialogues, if you need any additional information on any of these properties, the help is going to be a good resource for you to give you additional information here.